Divines, have you ever been attacked for no reason? Betrayed by the very people you trusted? What if I told you it happened because of who you are? Why do people go to such extreme lengths to tear down the chosen ones? Let me tell you about a man humble, kind, and deeply spiritual. He never hurt a soul, yet he was falsely accused, humiliated, and cast out by his own people. They whispered lies, spread rumors, and turned the world against him. His crime, being different, being chosen, that man's name was Jesus. And just like him, you have been under attack. What they did to you was disgusting. They slandered your name, tried to break your spirit, and turned others against you. But what they don't know is a chosen one always rises. And divines, here's the truth they fear the most. They attacked you because your light exposes their darkness. Stay with me till the end, because I'm breaking down the 7 shocking reasons why the world targets chosen ones, and how you can turn every attack into a stepping stone for your divine purpose. Point 1. Your existence exposes their insecurities. Divine One, have you ever walked into a room and felt an energy shift? Not because of anything you did, but simply because of who you are. There's an unspoken tension, a discomfort in the air. Some people suddenly become defensive, irritated, or even hostile toward you. Why? Because your mere presence is a mirror, forcing them to see themselves clearly. And the truth is, most people don't like what they see. Your confidence highlights their doubts. People who lack self-assurance feel exposed in the presence of someone who is sure of themselves. Your quiet confidence, the way you walk with purpose, and your unwavering faith in yourself make their insecurities scream. Studies in psychology confirm that individuals with low self-esteem often react negatively to those who embody qualities they wish they had. Instead of being inspired, they feel threatened. Your kindness exposes their cruelty. You treat people with respect, love, and integrity. Not because it's a strategy, but because it's who you are. This exposes those who thrive on manipulation, gossip, and deceit. It reminds them of the goodness they abandoned, of the choices they've made that led them to bitterness. In history, great figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. were vilified for their kindness and moral strength. Why? Because their existence exposed the corruption around them. Your faith makes their emptiness unbearable. You believe in something greater, whether it's God, the universe, or a divine purpose. This faith gives you peace, while others scramble for meaning in material things, fleeting pleasures, or social validation. People who have no solid foundation become uncomfortable when they see someone standing firm in their belief. Instead of seeking their own peace, they lash out at yours. The power of projection, psychologists call this projection. When people unload their own fears and flaws onto someone else to avoid dealing with them, instead of fixing their problems, they attack you, hoping you will shrink to their level. They'd rather pull you into their storm than find their own calm. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to stand out. Divine One, let this be your confirmation. You are not here to blend in with the crowd. You are here to rise above it. You were designed to be different, to walk your own path, and to shine a light so bright that even those who resent you can't ignore it. So the next time you feel attacked for simply being yourself, smile. It means you're doing something right. Keep shining. Point 2. You cannot be controlled. Most people move through life like passengers on a crowded train, sticking to the tracks laid before them, never questioning the route. But you're different. You walk your own path, carve your own destiny, and that terrifies those who are shackled by the system. Why most people follow the crowd. From childhood, society conditions people to fit in. Schools teach conformity. Workplaces demand obedience. Even social circles reinforce groupthink. Psychologists call this normative social influence, the pressure to conform to avoid rejection. It's a survival instinct. In ancient times, being part of the tribe meant safety. Going against the grain could mean exile, which often meant death. That same fear lingers today. People cling to what's familiar, even if it limits them. But you, the chosen one, weren't wired that way. The fear of the uncontrollable. When you refuse to follow blindly, you expose the illusion. You remind others that they, too, could break free if they were brave enough. And that terrifies them. Think about history's greatest disruptors. Jesus, Joan of Arc, Nikola Tesla, Harriet Tubman. They all challenged the status quo. And what happened? They faced opposition, ridicule, even betrayal. Your independence makes people uncomfortable because it highlights their own unwillingness to step outside the system. It forces them to confront their own fears. Why they try to control you people who thrive on control, whether in families, workplaces, or social circles. Hate unpredictability. If they can't mold you to fit their expectations, they see you as a threat. This is why they try to manipulate, guilt trip, or even discredit you. Ever noticed how people who once praised you suddenly change when you stop playing by their rules? It's not personal, it's psychological. They need you to conform to validate their own choices. But you are not here to please people. You are here to fulfill a divine purpose. Let them talk, let them plot. It won't stop your destiny. Many will misunderstand you. Some will envy you. Others will outright oppose you. But let them. What God has for you, no human can steal. No amount of gossip, jealousy, or sabotage can rewrite your destiny. The greatest leaders, the true visionaries, never let opposition deter them. They knew that walking their own path came with resistance, but also with rewards beyond imagination. So keep moving forward, Divine One. Your path is yours alone, and that is your power. Point 3, you have a spiritual calling. Your attacks were designed to push you into your purpose, Divine One. Have you ever wondered why the attacks on your life seem so relentless, so personal, so calculated? It's not a coincidence. The battles you face were never random. They were spiritually designed to shake you, to test you, and ultimately to push you into your divine purpose. Let's take a look at one of the most powerful stories of divine orchestration, the story of Joseph. His life was a living testament to how betrayal can be the very thing that positions you for greatness. Joseph was his father's favorite, gifted with a coat of many colors and blessed with prophetic dreams, but that favor painted a target on his back. His own brothers, flesh and blood, became jealous and sold him into slavery. Imagine that. The very people who were supposed to protect him threw him into the hands of strangers, left him for dead, and then pretended like he never existed. But here's the plot twist, Divine One. What they meant for evil, God used for good. Joseph went from being a slave to being falsely accused and thrown into prison. But even there, his gift made room for him. His ability to interpret dreams eventually led him before Pharaoh. And in one divine moment, Joseph was elevated to the second most powerful position in Egypt. The same brothers who betrayed him were later forced to bow before him, unknowingly seeking help from the very one they had wronged. This is how God works. So when people betray you, when doors slam in your face, when life seems to be breaking you instead of blessing you, don't despair. Thank your enemies. Thank those who walked away. Thank the ones who doubted you. They didn't destroy you. They positioned you. You see, Divine One, pressure creates diamonds, fire refines gold, and storms clear the path for new beginnings. Your trials are not evidence that God has abandoned you. On the contrary, they are proof that you are being prepared for something greater. Every attack, every setback, every heartbreak has a divine purpose. If Joseph had never been betrayed, he would have never reached the palace. If you had never faced adversity, you wouldn't be standing in the position you are today. So stand tall, Divine One. Keep moving forward, because what was meant to break you is about to bless you. And your enemies, they'll soon realize they were just the instruments God used to push you into your destiny. Watch what happens next. Point 4. You are a mirror to their souls. People don't hate you. They hate their own reflection in you. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to despise you, even when you've done nothing wrong? Why their energy shifts the moment you walk into a room, or why they throw subtle jabs, side eyes, or even outright hostility your way? Here's the truth. They don't actually hate you. What they hate is the reflection of themselves that you unknowingly show them, the mirror effect. Why you trigger them. People don't like being confronted with their own shortcomings. When they look at you, your ambition, your self-discipline, your ability to rise above challenges, they're not just seeing you. They're seeing the version of themselves they could have been if they had made better choices. You remind them of their wasted time, the years they let slip away, making excuses instead of taking action. You highlight their untapped potential. the talents and dreams they once had but buried under self-doubt and procrastination. You expose their broken promises to themselves, the silent vows they made to be better, yet never followed through. This is why they react negatively. It's not about you. It's about their own regrets, jealousy, outraged. Inspiration, the choice they make, the difference between those who admire you and those who resent you, boils down to mindset. Some people see your growth as motivation, proof that success is possible. Others, however, take it as a personal attack, as if your achievements are proof of their failures. Instead of asking themselves, how can I improve? They tell themselves, they think they're better than me. Instead of seeing your success as a roadmap, they see it as a mirror reflecting everything they haven't done. And that, Divine One, is why you must never shrink yourself for the comfort of others. Your glow-up is not up for negotiation. Dimming your light won't make them shine. Playing small won't make them feel bigger. Your growth is yours, and it is not your responsibility to make others comfortable with their own stagnation. So the next time someone throws shade, understand that it's really a projection of their own insecurities. Keep evolving. Keep leveling up. Keep being the proof that transformation is possible. Because the right people will be inspired by your journey. And the rest, well, their reaction says more about them than it does about you. Shine on, Divine One. Your light is meant to be seen. Point 5. You walk in God's favor. Have you ever noticed how people will cheer you on until you actually start winning? At first, they clap, smile, and act as if they're in your corner. But the moment your success becomes undeniable, something shifts. Suddenly, the energy changes. They start showing concern. They whisper behind your back. They downplay your achievements. And deep down, some of them are just waiting for you to fail. But why? Why do people pretend to support you until you actually start succeeding? The psychology of hidden jealousy. The answer is simple. Favor isn't fair. When God's hand is on your life, it disturbs the people who thought you'd never rise. It exposes their own insecurities. Your success becomes a mirror, forcing them to confront their own stagnation. Instead of celebrating your blessings, they feel threatened. Jealousy isn't always loud. It's often masked as concern. Oh, don't overwork yourself. Are you sure this is the right path? You've changed. They want to plant doubt in your mind because they can't handle the reality of your elevation. But here's the truth, Divine One. What God has started in you, no man can stop. Biblical proof that favor brings enemies. This pattern isn't new. Even in the Bible, the most anointed individuals face this same opposition. Joseph's own brothers threw him in a pit because of his God-given dreams. Genesis 37:18-20. David was mocked by his own family before he ever became king. 1 Samuel 17:28. Jesus himself was rejected by those closest to him. Ark 6:4. If they hated them for their favor, don't be surprised when they hate you for yours. How to handle fake supporters. 1. Stay focused. Don't let their opinions distract you from your purpose. 2. Discern wisely. Not everyone clapping for you is truly for you. 3. Move in silence. Don't share your every step. Some people only listen to find ways to sabotage you. 4. Trust God's plan. If He opened the door, no enemy can shut it. Divine One, your success isn't up for debate. Let them gossip. Let them doubt. Let them watch from the sidelines. Because what's meant for you will always be yours. Keep rising. Point 6. You threaten the status quo. Society is designed to keep people asleep, trapped in routines, bound by invisible chains of expectation, and conditioned to accept the status quo without question. From a young age, we're told to follow the rules, pursue conventional success, and never challenge the systems in place. Schools teach obedience over creativity. Workplaces reward compliance over innovation. And media subtly conditions us to accept narratives without thinking critically. It's no accident. A world that thrives on control has no interest in individuals who think for themselves. But you were never meant to fit into that mold. Something in you always questioned everything. The traditions, the beliefs, the limitations imposed on you. While others blindly accept what they're told, you seek truth. And that, my friend, is why your spiritual awakening makes you a threat. Why society fears the awakened mind. When you awaken spiritually, you begin to see beyond the illusion. You recognize that much of what you were taught was designed to keep you small, fearful, and dependent. You realize that happiness isn't found in chasing external validation, but in inner alignment with your divine purpose. This realization disrupts the carefully maintained illusion that society depends on. Governments, corporations, and institutions function best when people are passive. When individuals start to question authority, challenge societal norms, and seek higher consciousness, they become unpredictable. And unpredictable people are dangerous, not because they are violent or rebellious, but because they are free. The weird label, a badge of honor. The moment you start thinking differently, people will try to label you. You'll hear whispers. You've changed. You're weird now. Why are you so into this spiritual stuff? But understand this. Those labels are not about you. They are about their discomfort. People trapped in illusion feel threatened by those who see beyond it, rather than question their own beliefs. It's easier to dismiss you as crazy. History proves this. Every great thinker, prophet, and visionary, from Galileo to Jesus to Nikola Tesla, was ridiculed before they were respected. Truth always wins. Let them call you whatever they want. The awakened mind is a lighthouse in a storm, and deep down, even those who resist the truth feel its pull. Keep walking in divine truth, because in the end, truth always wins. Those who mocked you today may one day look to you for guidance. Stay strong, stay awake, and never dim your light for a world that fears its brilliance. Point 7. You cannot be destroyed. Why they attack you. The power of unbreakable spirit, divine one. Have you ever wondered why some people seem obsessed with tearing you down? Why their energy is consumed by trying to discredit, isolate, and discourage you? It's not because you're weak. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because they know deep down that they can't break you, and that terrifies them. When people sense an unshakable force, they either admire it or fear it. Those who operate from insecurity and envy cannot stand to see someone rise beyond their control. They attack because they recognize your strength, not your weakness. They try to ruin your reputation. Character assassination is their first move. Lies, gossip, and twisted narratives. Anything to distort how others see you. It's a classic psychological tactic. If they can't break you directly, they'll try to turn others against you. Historically, even figures like Socrates and Joan of Arc faced brutal smear campaigns simply because they stood in their truth. But here's the thing. Truth has a way of resurfacing. Lies may spread fast, but they are fragile. Your integrity, however, is indestructible. No matter what they say, your essence speaks louder than their words. They tried to isolate you. One of the most common tactics of manipulators is isolation. They know that when people feel alone, they become vulnerable. This is why cults, toxic workplaces, and even oppressive governments seek to divide and conquer. If they can cut off your support system, they believe you'll crumble. But Divine One, isolation is not always a curse. It can be a gift. Some of the greatest spiritual awakenings and moments of self-discovery happen in solitude. Look at history. Visionaries like Nikola Tesla, Maya Angelou, and Jesus Christ all faced periods of isolation. But instead of breaking, they transformed. They tried to make you doubt yourself. The ultimate weapon of your enemies is self-doubt. If they can get you to question your own worth, your own path, your own power, then they don't have to do much else. But here's what they didn't expect. You have an inner compass that cannot be manipulated. You have a resilience that cannot be shaken. No matter how many times they whispered lies into your ear, your spirit refused to surrender. And yet, you're still standing despite everything they did. You didn't fold. You didn't surrender your light to their darkness. You remained you. And that Divine One is why they are furious. Because after all their schemes, all their efforts to break you, you're still right. And that is the greatest revenge of all. Divines, what they did to you was disgusting. But their attacks were a confirmation of your calling. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't a threat. And you are a force to be reckoned with, so keep shining. Keep rising, keep walking in your divine purpose. And remember, the very people who tried to destroy you will one day have to watch you succeed. Now, Divine One, go claim what's yours.